Hello, this is Dilip. Let me tell you one more thing about my previous videos, and I'd like to clarify certain things to you people. I mean, a few persons do the most damage everywhere only in the name of people. If you go through my previous videos and my postings on LinkedIn, Facebook and Twitter, you will get to know I had clarified everything about the past happenings and the present. First thing, let me clarify you and let me ask you as well. Whatever is going on with me, is it something unique or is something new right now? All those things, I'm not talking about the visible things, through which they carry out intimidation, bullying, and provocation, and stupidity, and other things. Those invisible things, harmful magic practices, casting evil eye, reading your mind, abusing the thought, these things have been existing since a long time, It's not a new thing right now, To only one person, that type of torture, cruelty, inhuman and degrading treatment, they carry out everywhere. In India, they did not allow me to take rest, in a day. If you are an employee in any duty, or if you are carrying out any business, or if you are doing something to get yourself self-employed, you will not be having any time, in 24 hours. Because 8 to 12 hours you will be spending in your duty, and then you will do other things 4 to 6 hours, and the rest you need to take care of, so that you will get rid of those hectic days to get yourself make ready for the next day. In a 24 hours, at least you need 5 to 8 hours of sleep, and to carry out other activities, these simple things like eating and sleeping, and to carry out your daily activities like toilet, and in India they were doing the most damage while I was ignorant. I was ignorant about those harmful magic practices that were going on in the past. I was fully ignorant at that time, but as I was working in a government organization, so I used to get up in the morning. By 8 o'clock I had to go inside the plant, otherwise you will get an absent on that day if you miss to present on time every day. And then I used to return my quarter by 7 o'clock, by 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock, if there is everything is good, because our plant was a process plant, those process plants, they run for 24 hours, 365 days, so if you, I mean, when I joined that steel plant 2006, I mean, you had to work. At that time there was a human resource crisis in our plant, there was a hierarchical problem in our structure. So due to those scarcity and weaknesses, I had to work, and they were forcing me to work 10 to 12 hours every day, including Sundays, for 365 days. Since 2006 I worked there for 11 years, till 2017 I was employed in that plant, so I was hardly getting any time, in a 24-hour day to stay in my quarter or to go anywhere, because because working in a steel plant in those harsh conditions, I used to work where the temperature of those steel ingots were around 600 degrees centigrade to 700 degrees centigrade, I mean, a normal human being could hardly sustain or could hardly bear the temperature if go above 50 degrees centigrade in a day. And in a steel plant I used to work with those steel ingots having temperature around 500 degrees centigrade to 600 degrees centigrade, and working in those harsh conditions, harsh environments, it's not about sound. I used to work in those steel plants where the I just complain about the abnormal sounds every time here, everywhere. If you ask me, have you ever been worked in a environment where this type of noise and sound existed? I would tell you, if you go back to my steel plant, Bokaro steel plant in India, where I was working for 11 years, there the big monster like machines were working inside the plant. We every day I had to go inside the plant, into my office, wearing the helmet as well as the earplug. If you like to clarify about the decibel, in terms of decibel, it sometimes it was crossing more than 100 decibel. So wearing the earplug, wearing the helmet, these were mandatory inside a steel plant. So you could imagine, it's not, I'm not complaining about the sound. I mean, these people, what they do, I mean, I'm accustomed to working in a sound environment, sound mind, sound environment. It's not about unsound mind and abnormal sounds. They carry out everywhere, wherever I stay. They knock on the walls. Because I mean, it's not about, because they do the, they carry out your body. They possess, they carry out harmful magical practices on your body. They possess your body, At the same time, if they are in range, if they stay adjacent to you, close to your living space, they carry out those abnormal sounds simultaneously, and they will provide the impact or impulse to your heart, to your brain, to your body through shadowy position, through harmful magic practices, I mean, you see the type of cruelty, the type of torture they carry out everywhere. I mean, it's a free possessing my body everywhere has become a public property nowadays. They have made. I mean, it's not about demolition of the boundary lines or the boundary walls of body, mind, and property. It's about desecration they carry out every day with the help of or in the name of people. Only a few people, they were doing the worst damage. They separate. I mean, when I got employed in 2006 in Bokaro Steel Plant. I mean, it's very near to Delhi. I mean, where I grew up. If you go back to the history, and the past 20 years of my life, 19 years of my life, I grew up in a place that was not. I mean, if you might be getting confused about the tribes. Who are the real tribes? People call tribes because whenever a person, I mean, comes into the world, there with that environment, with the people surrounding, those who are in range or close to that environment where he or she usually grow up, you call them the tribes. I mean, the first 20 years I grew up, although I was born in Cuttack in Odisha in India, with my neighbors in a different place in that state. Then after 19 years I moved back to my birthplace where I had never stayed before, and then after completing my graduation, that 4 years, moved to a place where Jharkhand, close to Delhi, where nobody or no one in India wants to work in that type of environment, and steel plant where the huge number of trade unions and other things are existing. So there I worked for 11 years. There I got married. Then at the same time, within very short span of time, we got separated. I just want to tell you that how they stayed invisibly in my quarter in Bokaro Steel Plant by separating all my near and dear ones, my mother, my brother, my divorced wife, my daughter. They used me in my ignorance. They did the worst damage to my body, and then now they carry out desecration in the name of people and public everywhere, in every living space. So I mean, it's not a new thing. These things, after independence, these things have been existing since long time. Only to an educated person, they do this type of damage. If you look at their body, mind, emotion, and financial things, they are well protected, and because they stay in a group, and those who are alone, they stay with the with the security systems and bungalows, I mean, it's quite surprising. It's not a new thing. These things have been existing since a long time, and I am not interested. I am not affiliated to any political party, despite they keep on chasing me everywhere because they want to use me to their political benefit and monetary benefit everywhere. I mean, if anyone is not interested, and they carry out, I mean, everywhere it has become a right to possess your body, to carry, I mean, they specifically carry out attack on my private part, those are necessary, just like breathing and the organs that are used for your toilet activities, and they will, I mean, the type of cruelty they do with me when I am eating. There are two pipes. One is wind pipe and another is food pipe uh, in your chest. There one is for used for taking food and another used for breathing, and sometimes they do this type of, I mean, the type of cruelty and torture they carry out by possessing your body, and by staying near to my place. It's very difficult to swallow or to drink water. Sometimes it get mixed up. The food pipe and the wind pipes. There are the two pipes. Where one is used for breathing, one is used for taking food. They do this type of, the type of. I mean, how they are desperate in killing me, how they are desperate in torturing me. I mean, how they are desperate in what type of, I mean, I know I am much better than those people, and and you see that they are the criminals, they are the criminals, and they respect, and they don't dare to do this type of damage to those people, because they stay in a group, they don't. They didn't allow me to stay with any single member of my family member, just they kept me alone for a long time to do this type of torture, and the damage that is something irreparable in nature, in future. So I'm not interested. I'm not affiliated to any political party, but they keep on chasing me in every country. In India, I would even kill, right now, I'm speaking in front of you, and I took the chance. I don't know whether should I call it a chance or a choice, and moved to Indonesia, where I was barely able to walk and breathe normally, then moved to Laos, Vietnam, and now in Nepal, everywhere, I mean, in other countries, I don't know, but who are staying in invisible, in shadowy positions here as well, because everywhere, these people, everywhere, the one thing is that because they cast evil eye, because they read your brain, because they know whatever you are thinking right now, and the easy way to intimidate, carry out bullying and provocation is to attack on your very private things. I mean, these are the things that nobody wants to discuss, on the toilet, I mean, it's not about, they want to make you is look bad or think bad or make your mood bad. It's about something more than they are inflicting trauma and carrying out harassment to you all the time, I mean, it's not about they want to show you, they want to tell you by casting evil eye, by reading your brain, and why they want to do, these are the basic needs. If you know about the Maslow's pyramid, I mean, in Maslow's pyramid, there is a call, first stage, there are 5 stages in Maslow's pyramid, in first stage is about physiological needs, physiological needs is like food, shelter. I mean, a person need a home or a house, at least need food and drinking water. These are the basic things to make your life living to the future, So first stage is about physiological need. Then it comes psychological needs, and then social security, friendliness, and then self-esteem, and then self-actualization. In India, those who are most of the people, they start their career or they after birth, they from the stage one, they struggle for the food, shelter, all about those basic needs. They start their career, they start their life in India from the stage one, where I'm right now, after working in India for 11 years, having 5 to 6 number of houses, despite getting married to a working woman who is also electrical engineer in profession, working in the same steel plant in Government of India under Ministry of Steel. You see the fate of my life, you see the plight of my suffering and pain here, everywhere. I struggle for my basic needs, for my food, for my shelter, and for my breathing. These are the basic needs, and in a developed country, in a country I don't know, they start their career from self-esteem or from the self-actualization. They are not worried about the house, food, shelter, psychological needs, social needs, and friendliness, because they are developed and well established. I don't know. There are two things. I just want to ask. Because people might be thinking, might be getting confused about India, because nowadays they see too many Indian people. They are well established abroad. They are in well established positions abroad in different companies, in world-renowned companies. People respect those Indians and they have different type of thought and belief in their mind. If you go back to the other people in India, majority of those who stay inside India, you might be thinking same thing about those, but these are the two different things. I would like to clarify, is it something the type of suffering they want to inflict on me, the type of pain they want to force me to go through? I don't know. Is it an act of God, or is it man-made? I think it's a kind of force majeure in nature. A few, when those who are in power, in government offices, because I was a government servant, I know the ins and outs of a government employee in India, particularly those offices close to the Delhi. I know their working style. For the sake of money, for the sake of power, they will carry out the worst damage. They will possess your body. They will stay in range in and around your living space to carry out the worst damage. Every time they will chase you 24 hours, because they have the type of power and the type of this type of people to carry out the worst damage with you everywhere, in everything, wherever you stay. That doesn't matter. I know their working style. For this way, I'm not affiliated to any political party, and I'm not interested in the politics of India, and I don't know why they keep on chasing everywhere, in every country, from Laos, Vietnam, and Indonesia to Nepal as well, everywhere. And it's not about, I spend all my money to fulfill my basic needs. These are the things like breathing, carrying out your daily activities like taking food, doing other things in the toilet, They don't want to allow me to carry out normally every day, everywhere. They carry out torture and they inflict trauma in my body, I don't know why these people, I know I am much better than those people, and those people, those who are criminals, in Indian, if you talk about the Indian politicians, I think that I was reading a report about Indian politics. 40 to 50% of Indian politicians are having criminal background, they are the criminals, if you go back to the criminals, it's about they in the past they are the criminals. They have the criminal background in their life. I am not interested. I am not affiliated to any political party. This is the system that is going on in India. So you could imagine, right now, how there are other people, with established families, established political parties in India. They are interested. They, will do. They are stay in a group. That's why I called a few Indian persons, in the name of public. They do that worst damage everywhere, I would have lost my life, I left my country, but they keep on changing, who are they, while working in a government, in a Bokaro steel plant. I know their working styles, authority. They are the people in authorities, they have the power, I know, because I was a manager, it's not about the working styles in other parts of India. That's why I call you, India is a big country, it comprises 36 number of states and union territories, if you go to the other parts like southern parts and other, they are not interested. They are not interested in those type of dirty politics in India. If you offer any political positions to an educated person in India, they are not gonna accept it. They are not going to accept that position even if it is offered at free of cost. I don't know. Nothing is free of cost in this world, they are not gonna, because no educated person in India, and about the bureaucrats, that is this is something, those persons, there is a transition going on, those who are right now in those positions. I know, working with those people, with those bureaucrats, with those government servants in India, close to the Delhi. I know their working styles. I know the working styles of other people in India, and they're the worst, they are the worst demons in India. There were, it's, you talk about, that's why I call them a few persons in government official offices or in authorities, they do the damage, There are other people, there are most of the people, there is a Pareto principle, 80-20, 20% of people do the hard work and 80% do the worst damage. And this type of people, only a few people, 1 or 2 persons with the authority, with the power from the ministry and other places, they carry out torture with another persons, forget about the general public. They do the harassment and the torture and trauma with the government officials of those who are in the same rank, in the same positions, or those who are in junior positions. I know the working styles. They used to in a steel plant, it's very difficult. I challenge you and I tell you the grim realities of those people working in government offices in India, despite providing the resources, despite providing the technologies to those people. They are unable, they are unable to run a plant which that they call indigenous steel plant, but it was supplied by the foreign government, they were unable, and they make all these things, I was running the slabbing mill and the cold rolling mill plant, I don't know their working style. Only these people, if you specifically those who are working to the north, they never do the hard work, Only because I was from Odisha, because I migrated to Jharkhand, close to the Delhi. I used to do the hard work. Otherwise, they used to threaten me. It's about threatening. They used to threaten me. They used to harass me. They used to threaten me to damage my career. So I used to do work hard from 12 to 14 hours every day in that steel plant. And those people, those who were natives to that place or from places close to Delhi, they were not working. They will say, okay, this is our place, we will not work, do the hard work. But when it comes about awarding the contract to different contractors, to their relatives, to their near and dear ones, and they will show their power and they will show their right. And when it comes to working with the machines, it's about we people from the poor places. So this is the inequality and trauma and torture in India while working from 2006 to 2017 in Bokaro Steel Plant. I went through. So it's not about hard work. It's about something when it I told you, it's when it comes to power, when it comes to taking promotion, when it comes to awarding contract to different persons, they will take those rights. They will snatch those things from you. Otherwise they will make your life hell. The type of despite working in a government department, they were not doing the government duty sincerely. I know even those machines, those hydraulic circuits, I tell you about, are very sophisticated and technical, and they used to maintain those equipments very badly. When you complain about them, they will say, okay, nothing, we will buy another one. We'll have our contract to different persons, or either we will replace or something will see revamping or something like that only. Because every time they do all those things, there is money and politics involved. So they will do it. Every time they will demolish, every time they will construct. That's why I call it a creative destruction. That's why creative destruction. They are very expert, because they used to carry out this type of things. Creative destructions with the equipments in Bokaro Steel Plant, in government departments. When it comes about doing hard work, they will not do. But when it comes about taking monetary benefit in awarding contracts through creative destructions, they are in the forefront. Every time. And that's, two things. They don't know. They are technically incompetent. This is very much clear. Second thing, they are very lazy. They don't want to do hard work. And the third one, they want to damage, they want to demolish, they want to do everything through creative destruction. They will destroy, they will they will ignite the fire, and then they will put out the fire. So they will create a problem, and then they will provide the solution. On the pretext of providing solution, they will do the damage and loss again. So this is the nature. And you see why they do the torture to me, why they do that trouble and harassment. It's not about the carry out damage. At the same time, it's not about they want to carry out the damage by using, and they have made this type of norms and this type of tradition and culture everywhere, wherever I go, from Laos to Vietnam to Indonesia to Nepal here. They do, and they have set the norms everywhere. Okay, you go and you, and they it's not about they want to harass you by casting. Everything is open. Those people, you do people. I mean, if you're like me, I don't have those magical things, magical powers with me. I cannot cast evil eye. I don't see who is whatever is doing. I cannot read the brains of my neighbor. I cannot read the. I cannot cast the evil eye. Who is doing what in that room? They have these people. That's why I call them a few persons in India having this type of power, casting evil eye, reading brain, doing magical things. At the same time, they are in authorities. They collaborate, combine with the criminals, hooligans, and other people from the other different faith systems and do the worst damage everywhere. And they call it public and they call it people. I mean, and wherever I stay, they come to it's not about they enter into my room in my absence to do with my clothing, to do with my toilet, and to want to sew me. And why? Because they want to obstruct the very essence of life. Breathing is basic necessity, and taking rest at least 5 to 6 hours in a day is the basic necessity, and taking food and drinking water, these are the basic necessity, and carrying out toilet, I mean, I will tell you, while urinating or while carrying out the other toilet activities, they possess my body, they obstruct the type of, I mean, because I don't have those things, I don't have power of shadowy position, I don't have the magical power to harm on the body by staying close or by staying in range to the living space of that person, because they are in a group, they carry out, because there is no, I mean, is it something new? Is it the type of order that need to be done right now everywhere? Because this type of order, I don't want to call it a disorder right now, because they do it. It's a criminal offense everywhere, every country. They do it because they have the right, I mean, those people, they were inefficient, they were ineffective in carrying out the maintenance, the operating things of those equipments in Bokaro steel plants. Those where, if you go back, there are hardly any hydraulic expert in India. Those equipments are made from German companies like Bosch, Rexroth. Hydraulic equipments are very delicate and very intricate, I mean, sophisticated in nature. If you talk about the tolerances, I mean, those hydraulic parts, if you talk about pneumatics and hydraulic circuits, forget about water supply system, in any equipments, in process industry like steel plants is very sophisticated and highly advanced. That's why there are very few companies. I mean, if you talk me about how many countries are manufacturing, I'm not talking about only manufacturing. I mean, manufacturing and designing and supplying that technical know-how to the world. There are hardly of aeroplanes, I mean, there are very few countries, like I mean, hardly 3 to 4 countries nowadays. They have the capability, they have the technical know-how of manufacturing, those sophisticated and highly advanced technology for the aeroplanes in the world right now. Very few, 3 to 4 countries. So in those aeroplanes, if you talk about the technology, I would tell you the opening of doors, and the working of wheels are being done with the help of hydraulic circuits, and if you talk about those hydraulic technologies are being supplied by very few companies from the very few countries, I like Etons, Parkers, hydraulic manufacturers are existing in the world, and other companies like Rexroth from Germany, very few. I mean, these are very sophisticated equipments, hydraulic parts. If you talk about, if you want to just dismantle or make disassembly, or to carry out disassembly of that particular hydraulic parts, I mean, it's not allowed. It's the general operating principles of the. I mean, if you are a technical person, you will know the type of tolerance they maintain. It's like it's not about clearance fit. It's not about shrink fit. It's not about close fit. I mean, it's like plus or minus 0.005 micron. To that level, they maintain the tolerance. And in Bokaro Steel Plant, I know the working style of those people. They used to, if they didn't know, they didn't have any knowledge, and they don't know. They don't want to either work as well, do the hard work. If they used to have any problem in the equipments, they used to dismantle that hydraulic parts, and then it was very difficult to, because if you dismantle those tolerances, those technical equipment, I mean sophisticated equipments having close tolerance fits, it's very difficult to carry out the assembly again, because we don't have the manufacturing base in India, because all these parts are being imported every time there is a problem in the plant. Either if you have to maintain the stock in India, otherwise you have to carry out the import, because these are the and these people, the type of nuisance, the type of stupidity you can gauge, I know, from their past working styles and from their past deed with the equipments of those highly sophisticated technical things. They used to damage. Every time I had to maintain, either I had to maintain the stockpile or I had to import on urgent basis. So they used to damage, they didn't have any, because they don't know the technical things. So every time there used to problem, if you tell them to work, they will go and dismantle the parts and do the damage and say, okay, we work this much, that is enough. If that gets damaged, you buy another one. This is Government of India company, so you buy another one, or put the order to import the another piece. Said they are not worried. This type of damage done. No, and forget about the machines. Yeah, I know their working styles, I know the technical competency, I know the deeds. Do you think I have the faith and I have the trust in them? And they do the damage in my body. I know their competency, and they do it with, because first they did the type of, they wanted to kill me every time. In my ignorance, I survived, and after completing my MBA in 2019 from France, they put my body, mind, in the hand of public. I don't know who are public, only a few persons, those who are in the governance, or those who are in authorities in the government of India. They call them public, because they use and they manipulate and they carry out all the tortures in the name of people or public. So everywhere, and they want to set the type of this type of norms everywhere, in every country, wherever I go, wherever I visit. And I have applied to United Nations in different Geneva and Indonesia, seeking refugee and asylum there, and because of the visa problem I had to move again, and these people keep on changing and they don't want to waste their every minute of my life. Every day they do the worst damage. They do want to, they want to capitalize, they earn money at the same time by carrying out torture on my body and mind wherever I stay, wherever I go. So I already explained to you about before, I mean, those people I tell you, in the history of time, I mean, the type of torture I go through alone, everywhere, despite not having any affiliation to any political party. I mean, it's like I doubt any other person would have gone through this type of torture in the past. They want to, that's why they want to, I mean, because they are in a group. That's why, if you know the working principle of a current, if you're a science student, you know the working principle of a current. It always flow through the lowest resistance path. Everywhere the current flows through the lowest resistance path. Current never flows through high resistance. It always flows through the low resistance. This is the working principle of a current. So, and they provide these people, by keeping me alone for most of my life, and by making my body and mind in the heads of those hooligans and criminals, and they call it a public, they carry out torture in the name of people. Only those few persons carry out the worst damage. And it's like nowadays my body and mind because they have already broken down the walls, the barriers and the boundaries of the body and mind. It's very easy nowadays. Anyone can come into my body, into my mind, will do the torture and cruelty and desecration all the time. So it's now it has become this mass public torture is being done every time. So then nowadays they have made too many paths. It's not about, earlier I called life is a journey. Life is a journey. I mean, at the same time, I would like to call life is very short. Life is a journey, and if you are born in a very poor country like India, life is very short. So life is a journey. In a journey, I told you that if you lose your path, and that's very difficult to get into the track again. Life is very short. And you lose your life in the meantime. I called meantime. They will use your time by carrying out the worst meaning, by giving you the worst meaning to your life every time, in everything and everywhere. So life is a journey again. I tell you, the path determines the destiny, and the path, either by chance or by choice or by both, makes your way forward, So, because they read your brain, because they cast evil eye on your every activity inside your room. There is one more thing I would like to clarify you about. There are three things, That's why I call life is very short, And in a poor country, they have created them, but through creative destruction, they have made too many paths. They have opened the doors of too many paths to your brain, to your body, through mass public torture in the name of people, those criminals and hooligans and those troublemakers. They have opened because they have broken down. They broke down the barriers, the walls of your mind, of your body, of your thought. Now it has become the public property. I don't know who are public. Only few people. They want to stay in power forever, for a long time. They would like to blackmail your body, your mind, your thought. Because I don't have. I am right now. I lost all my money. I don't have any. Because why they do? Why they carry out torture while studying an MBA? In France, they did. Why? Because they want to take the power and money from the big powers, That's why they want to blackmail the big powers through my body, through my mind, through my thought, that's why I don't have anything. I'm just right now. Beggars are not choosers. I'm a beggar right now. I struggle for basic things like breathing, carrying out toilet activities, for sleeping. These are my basic things, and despite paying, I don't have enough money in my savings. I pay, and they don't allow. Wherever I go, they play. It's not about. You look at the mindset of other people in other countries. They want to allow those people here as well. They know I left my country. I left where I would have been killed. I left my country. I left those places, and I came to your place to seek for taking refuge and asylum here. And these people earn money at the same time, and for political benefit, they allow those people to carry out shadowy position, to cast evil eye, and to do the worst damage at the same time. Because everything is, if you talk about knife, you can use it for cutting vegetables and for other things, for the benefit of humankind. At the same time, you can use that knife to kill a human body. Everything is two things. One is good and one is bad or evil, whatever you may call. So they do. There are too many people. They are casting evil eye. Everything is open. I tell you, those who stay in a glass houses should not throw stones on others. Everything is transparent, everything, those people, but they will use, they are in a group, they will do, because those who want to do harm, they will do the harm. I told you I was drowning in the swimming pool. There were some people, they saved my life, and those people, those who want to harm, they will every time possess your body, and that's why I called argument and will carry out the worst damage, and that's why I call life is very short. In India, in a poor country like India, where it's very difficult to, if you go back to the 1947, there, the life expectancy was around 30 years, 35 years, and then gradually increased to 40 years, then 50 years, then nowadays 60 years hardly. You see those intellectual and those elderly people in decision making power in India, how they do to the millennials. I was around 35 years old when I left my job to pursue MBA in France. Now I am 42 years old. How they do to my body, to my mind, to a millennial, these elderly people, these intellectual people in India, forget about, for the sake of power, for the sake of money, they will carry out same thing, same type of torture, same type of desecration to the mind, to the body, to the emotion, to the thought of the next generation, of the coming generation of Indian, of people from India. These are, I will call, they are the internal enemies, For the sake of power, they can do the worst damage. I know they say they have been doing for the last. Why they do? Because I left my India, they still keep on chasing me. I left my country, I am not interested, I am not affiliated as well. And why they want to do? Because they want to blackmail, they want to take the power from other countries, the big powers, That's why they want to do, because they know where the power lies, where the money is there. Because that's why they don't want to do to any other person, those who are beggar, those who are sleeping on the road, because they don't have anything. Because and also they don't have the and nowadays, in India, because in India, I know, in India, because I grew up there, I know the working. If you call an Indian person, if you call those Indian people to carry out the harassment, to do the damage, to another Indian person in India, in abroad, they will do. They are the worst bullies. I know in the whole world, an Indian person is the worst type of bully, and the worst type of person to do the worst damage, to the worst provocation, to worst intimidation to another Indian everywhere. If you call an Indian person to carry out this type of things to other person from other country, they will not do. They are the worst coward. I know they don't have the courage. I would call them the courage. They're the worst coward in the whole world. So, but for an Indian person, they're the worst. They're the dangerous people. They're the worst dangerous thing. I know. That's why I left my country. I'm not interested. I'm not affiliated, because I have the experience of working with those government people. They're the worst. They're the slugger. If you close the door, and other people, they are interested. Other persons, why they will worry about you, why they will give I'm not born to those countries. I just fled, my country, because to save my life would have been dead much before, but took a chance. Okay, let's give it a chance. It's not a took a chance, it's a let's give it a chance. Why? Life is very precious, but I know, because why I call it a very precious, those precious things, why precious metals, you call precious things, precious metals like gold, diamond, silver. These are the precious things. Other substances are there, other things are there. There are three things, there is a form, there is a matter, and there is a substance. Substance, these are the in my earlier video, in my earlier writings, I have clarified about the form and matter. Whenever you go to anywhere, to any office, to any country, there you ask, would you please give me a form to fill it out? You ask for a form. These are the form, these are the basic structures that have been prevailing, that have been existing for a long time. These forms are made with the blood and sweat of hard working people of those systems. It's not about meaning, it's about time as well. It's about time as well. So that form is very hard to develop, hard to provide any meaning in a very short span of time. So time and meaning, this both gives substance to that form. So there are three things, form, matter, and substance. So wherever you go, you ask for them, you ask to anyone, would you please give me a form to fill the matter there. You fill in the matter, you fill in the matter. Okay, so okay, what is your name? My name is this, and I want to go to this, and this things. These are the matter. What happened to you? Where if anything goes wrong, you go to the police, complain. There you want to do the first information report. There is a form. There is a format available in the police department as well. They will hand out. They will give out that form to fill the matter. What happened? Oh, these are the matters. Okay, you fill in. We will do the inquiry. We will do the research. In research also there is a limit. There is a boundary. Don't extend. Otherwise there will not be a agreement. So you keep on searching for long time and you will keep on searching for the meaning for long time. You will lose your path. So there they will hand out the form to fill in the matter. Then they will carry out the research on that matter. Okay, they will carry out the research, they will carry out the inquiry, they will carry out, and then they will provide the evidence, and they will provide the substantial evidence. We call substantial evidence. That's why I call. There are three things, form, matter, and substance. Substance is the very purest form. These are highly precious and nature, like gold, silver, and diamond. With the time, when you grow up in any environment, there your mind, your body takes the purest form of that matter in that particular environment. It's very difficult to do it in a jiffy. It's not like that, because it's not so easy. And so it's like it's the purest form. It takes time and provides the meaning. That's why meaning is different. It's form, matter, and then substance is the purest form. That's why it's and these people, they are very intelligent, and they are very clever, and they're like demon. I will not clever. They are demon. They damage that very substance, that very purest form in no time. In no time, through mass public desecration, through mass public torture, by breaking the barriers and by breaking the it's not about touching you physically, it's not about touching you visibly. They touch your body, they touch your mind, they touch your emotion invisibly. That's why I call touchability. So there is a thing about touchability. I don't want to discuss go into that detail right now. I will clarify later in my another video about this touchability thing in India, particularly in India, in very detail in future. I don't have enough time because it's getting too long right now with the form. Form is a thing, that is the structure, you may call it, that is already made up, that is already made with the blood and sweat of those hardworking people in that particular system with the time. So that form takes time to get the structure, type of infrastructure, you may call. From structure that comes infrastructure. That form is very difficult to change in a jiffy. And then that comes the matter. You fill in the matter. When you get the form from a police department, they will hand out the FIR form that is already made up, that is already structured, in a well format manner. Then you fill in the matter. Okay, these things happened. So these are so you fill in the matter with the help of pen. At that time, that pen or that ink is the very substance with the help of that very substance, we fill in the matter. Because how do you fill in the matter? With the help of a pen. The very substance that is existing with you, because through pen you make the expression and create the substance, and your human body is that particular substance, and people want to fill in the matter. They carry out the stupidity, and Albert Einstein, said that three things, rule the world, One is fear. That's why they carry out abnormal sound in my ear, every time in tandem with my shadowy position, to carry out harmful magical practices. So fear, and then stupidity. They open my door and to enter into my room to do all the things with my clothes and to my things inside my toilet. Why? Because they want to put you down mentally, because they cast evil eye. They have the power. This is the magical thing or something, I don't know. They have broken down the barrier. Earlier they were looking at you. Earlier they were reading your brain in my ignorance, because there was some, they were doing the worst damage through my food, through my body, by practicing harmful magical things. I was survived. I was going through those things despite having ignorance. Then they broke down the barrier, the mind barrier. It's very, if you break down the mind area, the very existence of body comes from the mind, or you may call the whatever it may be, brain, mind, or something like that, So if you attack on the brain and mind, then everything is gone. Body is nothing, no more useful, That's why I will resume from the substance, and that substance is the purest form, that get the structure, get the matter, and takes the form with time. It takes time, and these people and these demonic people in nature, they know they are intelligent. That's why I call they are intelligent, and they are clever, and they are demon. They know it will take again another birth or something like that, or you will die while living at the same time. They broke down the walls, the very walls, the very protective layers of the mind, of the body, and through mass public torture in the name of people. Because in India, to be frank, the general public are struggling every day for 2 days meal, and these people, they use those people, because they want to keep power. These are the things. This is also a power, individual power. They will not dare to clash with those big powers, because they will get vanished in no time. So they want to do through me. They want to blackmail to me. So they will get the power. They did it while studying in MBA. Another 5-year terms, in both structures, in state and center. So that's why I call a few persons in India, they do the worst damage, and this is called substance. Substance is the purest form. They do the desecration. It's a very difficult idea. It takes time. That's why I call either next birth or something like that. Again, it's very difficult, because I don't have that thing, that power, power of casting evil eye, that power of reading others' brain, that, because it makes no sense, because they made my sense a common sense through mass public torture, because this is a cancer in our society, because these are the cancerous things existing in our society in India. Because that's why I call the law and order system in India is very poor. Everyone struggle in a government of India while working as a government department. I know the suffering and pain of a government person. those well-wishers, those godlike persons in government authority are very few in number. Yeah, if they want to help you out, if they want to do, they will not be able to do, or they will not succeed as well. I know, because I am the sufferer. I am the person who was working before in the same government department. Yeah, I know the it's very difficult, because there is a disorder prevailing, and you just make a living on that type of environment, in that type of disorder. You just keep on going, because I was going through those accidents, those assassinations, those sufferings and pain in my body. I kept moving. Then they made a plan. Okay, it's not about by carrying out desecration, by carrying out harm to the body is not enough. Now you have to break the barrier of mind. If you strike on the brain, the body is going to perish and going to finish with the time, and they did it, and they succeeded. So now they don't want to waste the time, that's why I call the substance is the very purest form, that is highly demanding in nature everywhere. Other substances existing on this earth, that's why I call earth is made up of what? Earth is made up of sand and soil. We call it soil, from soil, from iron to steel, I was working in a steel plant. I know from iron and steel to every materials are made from soil. I used to make iron, the steel ingots, the steel you call from the soil, These are the raw materials, basic raw materials were are needed to manufacture, to produce iron and steel. So, from iron and steel to coal and oil, everything is made from soil. From mobile and computer to glass and bricks is made from sand. From soil to sand, these silicons, that is the very integral part of computer and mobile phones, is made from silicon materials, sand, silica. From silica you make glass and brick and silicons, I was working in a glass company. I know these glasses are manufactured from the sand, So everything is made from soil and sand, It takes time. The process is created, the form is created, the structure is created. The matter is the process, The matter is the process. How do you process these raw materials, these sand and soil, to create computer and mobile, to create oil and coal, to create iron and steel, to create glass and bricks, These bricks, with the help of bricks, you make walls to make a living inside a home, It's not about, these are the material things, these are the visible things, those things. That's why I call with the pen is the substance, the very substance, With that pen, you fill in the matter in that particular form, Your human body, your thought, your mind, your brain, your body is a kind of substance, They They keep in the garbage. They put in the garbage through shadowy position, through magical practices, by staying in rain, by abusing a thought. They inflict your thought, your mind, your body. They create matter so that they trigger your brain, your mind. They create a matter to do the harmful magic things. They will change the substance. That's the very substance, the pain. I call the pain. The ink is the substance, but that is the substance is the very purest form. And the matter you fill in, the matter your thought, the matter you put in, that is your thought, that is your complaint, that is your thing. So the substance comes from the thought material. It's not about only pain. That is the visible thing. The invisible things, they want to do the harm, the damage. That's why it's very difficult. That's why they keep on doing. They want to kill me. And in the world, if you ask me what is the most dangerous thing, or what is the poison existing in the world, I would call it is about misunderstanding. Misunderstanding and the suspicion. Some people call it suspicion or misunderstanding. And why? This is the worst type of weapon. Those laggards, those sluggards, they want to use, because they don't have the courage. They are the coward. I told you. They want to create the misunderstanding, suspicion in your brain, in your mind, to do the damage, to carry out the accident, to carry out the unwanted incidents, inflicting harm in your mind and body. Because they read your brain, they cast evil eye. Whatever you do in your home, inside your house and room, they possess your body through harmful shadowy position in your by staying in range. So they can abuse. They will create that, because they know they will not be. They can't kill you directly. I mean, you tell me, suppose if you're a powerful person, they know they will not be able to kill you, because I don't know whether they don't want to kill me right now, or they want to take or reap political mileage or benefit till I continue my last breathing here, everywhere. So I am not sure exactly, but if any person get to know that it's very difficult to kill any person, what they prefer, what they want to do. They want to create the misunderstanding, they want to create the suspicion, they want to possess your body. That's why they put my body in the name of public, into the mass public torture, in the name of people. They know they are very clever, because they use my body till 2017 for the continuous 11 years in that particular office quarter in Bokaro, Jharkhand. When I was studying in France, when things came into limelight, then they broke the barrier through mass public torture in the name of people. They allowed those criminals, hooligans, to do the worst damage, because they were staying, inside my house, in and around my home, everything. Do you think is it new? If they carry out and if they do this thing to me, it is equally applicable to all the people. They do vigilance, they keep vigilance, they keep surveillance on everyone through this type of things. But if you want to cut with the help of knife to the body, it's gonna harm. I'm a living entity. I'm not, they do with the dead body, post-mortem. But, So they do, you know. So that's why they want to. So that's why the substance is the very purest form. And there is another thing, you know, in the substance. That's why in the code word, those who carry out these invisible things, those casting evil eye, reading brain, because once the wall is broken down, then it's very difficult to demarcate, to distinguish, to differentiate who is good, who is bad. You will feel the pain and suffering all the time, you know. That's why there is a call. There are people, godlike persons. There are people who are demonic and evil and bad in nature, you know. They are the assassinators. They are the killers, you know. So it's very difficult, you know, because they want to create the misunderstanding, the suspicion. You will always doubt, because they possess your body. They will they will do in a jiffy, in a second, not all the time, you know. It takes time, you know. Purest form, you read 24 hours, you read 10 to 12 hours every day for a long time, 20 years, then you get through the competition in engineering, or to get yourself enrolled in the creme de la creme institutions in any system. It's very difficult, otherwise all the people would have would have achieved that milestones. The country would have been the paradise. But it's not like that. It takes hard work and time, you know. It takes meaning and time, you know. So it's very difficult, you know. And they do it. That's why they don't want to. They know. They only wait for the accident. Because what about death, you know? Death is just a matter of second, you know. It's about a matter of second. They just they keep on reading your brain. They keep on possessing your body. They keep on practicing harmful magical things in and around your living place. They wait for that particular second or moment. It is a matter of second, you know. If you get while eating, it get obstructed, something like that, your breathing gets stopped. What happened with my mother, I don't know exactly, because complaint, they told me to collect ticket and my mother was alone. What they did with my mother's body while she was alone, so God knows. So they wait for that moment, you know, lonely moments, and that matter of time, you know. That's why they keep on. They don't want to leave any opportunity. They don't want to leave any opportunity, so that they will connect into that port through to harm, to kill my body and mind, you know. So that's why they keep on doing every time. That's why they put on the mass public at the same time. Too many chances. Keep on taking chances, you know. How full, you know, to keep on chances. So now you choose from this, probability is very much increased. You keep on choosing from the mass public, you know. Now you keep on choosing. How? Those people who will never dare, who will never like also to keep their mind, their body into those public mass torture, they put me in collaboration with powerful people abroad. So you see their intent, you see their ill intent and bad faith, and and that's why called the meaning, the true meaning, you know, the true meaning. That's why before going to that point, I would like to tell you about the substance, you know. In those who carry out these things, you know, they swap bodies, they take sedentary position, they carry out. There are too many people. There are among them there are well-wishers. Among them there are killers, assassinators. You know, you don't know who will, when, whose time comes to do that act in your mind and body. because they will do it it's a matter of second and time, because for the 20 years it takes hard work. That's why I call hard work. It takes long time to get enrolled yourself into crime colleges or crime institutions in India or in any abroad. It's not easy cake work. It's not a matter of time. It's not a matter of second or so. It's not a one time or two time or something like one time activity. It's a long time, dedication, sincerity, punctuality, all those things matter, all those things matter, and they will possess your body, they will read your brain, they will question, and they will do it, and they will prove you, and in a matter of time they will kill you, your mind, body. So this is the work of laggards, killers, because they are huge in number in India, and they will prefer, because they do. So that's why they call it identity. It's not about ego, it's about identity as well, They keep their identity hidden all the time because they keep cast evil eye on your body. They keep shadowy position to your body. They stay inside your house through shadowy position in and around your living space through shadowy position. They keep their identity hidden. There are two things in a human body. There is an ego and there is an identity. So it's very difficult to, and even in a married couple, two persons, despite having married contract legally, very difficult to keep on moving to a lifelong tenure, or very difficult to live for longer together under one roof, because there is an ego class and then there is an identity class, and these people, those who are clever, those who are assassinators, those are killers, they put my body into too many egos, to class with the too many egos, to class with too many identities, and to class with those assassinators and killers. So a chance will come. They have created too many probabilities. That's why Sambhavami Yuge, they create too many chances with time. So they will get their benefit. If you remain alive, they will blackmail to the powerful people. If you die, also equally helpful to them, because they have other people, because you are no more useful to them, because everything is, the truth is ours, and they want to make more realities. They want to make more realities. They want to create every realities, because they want to prove that they want to false that truth, So I'm lonely. I just keep moving, and you see, and they want to create this type of culture and tradition every countries, and other countries. I have gone to other countries. They are poor. How do you call yourself poor? There are. It's about mentally, physically, emotionally, and in mind. There is a wealth. That's why it's about not only wealth, it's not about monetary things, it's about health as well, it's about intelligence and intellect as well. There are people I have seen where maybe monetary wise they are, or currency value they are, but if you see their health and their intellectuals, they are quite wealthy in nature. And these Indians, most of the people, they are poor monetary, intellectually, most of the people, emotionally, thoughtfully. Those who are luckily by hard work, they go abroad to flourish. Otherwise they will blackmail you, they kidnap you, they will intimidate, bully, harass. That's why I call there is a touchability things prevailing only in India. I will tell you, I will go into detail. in the future. That's why they wait knowledge, you know. They they wait for the, you know, in Arthashastra, you know, in Arthashastra, if you Arthashastra, if you go back to the, I mean, true meaning of that Arthashastra, what is earth, you know? Earth, if you meaning from earth, it comes meaning shastra, weapon, you know. Sometimes, I don't know, they call scriptures. I call from weapon to scriptures, you know. So this Arthashastra, the meaning, you know, if you go with the true meaning, it's just like a weapon, you know, weapon in the present time, you know. Because how do you carry out the true meaning? Only by giving equality, by giving value, the present time value I call, or life value I call. So and with right association, that's I call equality, you know. You have to associate that particular word, you know, word. If you misuse, then you lose the path and you keep wandering and keep traveling, because life is very short. They know how to, they use the Fabian tactics, you know. They use the Fabian tactics with a lonely person. They keep the courage and they call it, I mean, at least the group of people, they, you know, there is the, I mean, the sanctity and the purity and the power of weapon is demolished if you use that with a weak person, you know, against the weak person, you know. That's the meaning, is the true weapon, you know. If you are, for an example, you know, if you go back to, for example, how this meaning is very much useful, how this meaning is very just like a weapon, you know, and the knowledge, you know. What is about knowledge? Knowledge is about from know. You know, now is the time I call, you know, now is the time. So from now is the time, you know, knowledge comes from the present time, you know. Now is the knowledge, now is the time, now is the knowledge. Knowledge comes from the present time, and they want to distort, and they want to change that presence, because the present is the present, because you are not living into the future. You, nobody knows about their future. They are alive right now, maybe they die in the future. Nobody knows. Future is uncertain, you know. They want to play with those uncertainty, you know. Nothing is certain, you know. The present is the raw truth, you know. The present is the raw truth. Now is the time, you know. They want to distort, they want to keep vague meaning, they want to capitalize on every opportunity. That's why they want to torture while breathing, while taking food, while living, while using my toilet, while on every. They don't want to lose any opportunity. In my dream, in my imagination, you know. It's not about, you know, truth. It's about reality. It's about imagination. It's about in my dream. They don't want to lose. They lose any area, any field of mind, you know. So that's why they want to, the true meaning, you know. The true meaning is just like a weapon, you know. The weapon, you know, with the present time, you know. Otherwise, it caused disaster, you know. For example, you know, while I was studying, you know, there were some courses in computer science, you know. In computer science, you know, there were in 1 or 2 semesters, we used to learn C programming. Then with the passage of time, then came Java programming in with use, because you have to recognize that, because too many languages they come with, you know, the how languages come, you know. There are only numbers. In languages, what happen when they carry out programming with Unix, with Java, with C, with C++. These are the computer programming languages, you know. And there are also right now, there for data programmers, Python and other data warehouse programmers like in Oracle, etc., etc. What happened? What is there? They use the same alphabets, A, B, C, D, use the mathematical numbers and other symbols. Only they do the permutation and combination, and they just make a particular order. It's not about disorder. You cannot write C programming in other languages. There is a they give a particular meaning, and that meaning changes with time. When too many users come to use that particular C languages, then it takes prerogative, over Unix, then C++ over C, then Java over C, C++, then other changes with time. Time is valuable. You will get outdated. See, that is called time is the weapon. With nowadays even. That's why technology, same thing. It's about, I told you about the computers. If you go back to those technologies, hydraulic and pneumatics, all are made with mathematical symbols and theories, which changes with time, experiments, and you see how they are clever in nature. They were practicing, those few people, those bureaucrats and those hooligans under different faith system. They were staying in my quarter, in carrying out position, carrying out my body and mind position, for the 11 years in Bokaro State Plant, Jharkhand, near to the Delhi. When I went to pursue MBA in France, then when it came to limelight, they made my body mind into public light. Why? They want to give bad meaning, bad to your life, to your time, to your present existence, through their mass public torture, or they call public in the name of people. They do a few persons, those who want to bargain and take power from abroad, from big countries. They do. They want to say that they want to kill me. With time. That is very much clear. They want to provide the. They use that bad meaning. Bad meaning. I mean, they want to put you down mentally, emotionally, physically, and morally. Every department they want to put you down. So the meaning is the true weapon. That meaning, that earth. That earth shastra. If you use that earth, that true meaning, then it becomes a weapon. Earth shastra. I don't want to call it a scripture. It's a weapon. And this earth shastra, that's why I call it the Siddharth. What is the? I mean, don't go around and around and around. You know everything. You read my brain. I keep. And they read my brain and they put there, and they take many chances to do the worst damage, and I have to choose. I'm alone, and they are in a group. They are in mass public. They call it the people. So please write meaning and be direct. Don't take time. That's why I call, don't take time, Siddharth. What is the right meaning with time? And there is a saying in Hindi, Siddharth. What is the direct meaning? What is the direct meaning used with time, with present society, or with present time, or in present society? They will not, because they want to. They are the hooligans. They are the criminals. Because life is very short. They want to. They know. Then that value determines. There is the why I call time. Time is knowledge, comes from the now. Knowledge comes from the presence. They want to put in the matter into your brain and mind, create a presence of their viewpoints and of their perceptions to bully you, intimidate you, create a fear. That's why. What do you think about why they open the door everywhere? They come into my room. This is normal. Because this is not stupidity. Einstein already said about this. Three things. They want to create a fear. They want to create a stupidity. They want to create. And these three things. Stupidity, greed, and fear rule the world. They are not able to create fear with the big powers. They know. They only want to create stupidity. They only want to show that this type of stupid through this type of stupidity, they will do the worst damage to those people I don't know, because I am alone. They are damaging to me, not to them. They are doing indirect things, direct things to me. Maybe there are well-wishers, that's why called substance, There are well-wishers, There are well-wishers, They want to provide you substantial help, Substantial help, I call them. They are the well-wishers, they are the godlike persons, and there are the demons. There are the people who want to make who want to put you go through under substance abuse. These are the legal terms. I'm not telling anything from the out of topic. Substance abuse. This substance abuse, when one is drug addicted, we call them, there is a substance abuse. In FIR report, this is the substantial evidence, and those who are the godlike persons, those who want to help you out every time, they will provide you substantial help every time, and they are in huge number. That's why they are the worthless people in India. I know them in government department as well. Those one or two people, those a few persons. I know, I have seen it's authority, in how authority works. Everyone forget about those people, forget about those disorder, forget about those orderly things. These people in authority, they are the worst demons. Only in paper, only in paper, that paper through people in authority rule the system. They kill too many people in the name of encounter. Who is responsible? Is there anyone in that system asking or creating any? No, they have the power. This is power. This is the fear, you call them. They can do. This is authority power. So all the people, these are the things come under them. That's why I call these people are there in top management, in authority, in government. They want to, because this government, there's a few persons, they are in uniform. A few persons, they are in uniform. Because they want to create fear with those weapons, with those shadowy positions, with those harmful magical things. All people in the same uniform, in general public like me, they suffer. They do, because they have, those, you see, those are uniform, those in authority, they don't want, if they are blessed with those invisible powers like casting evil eye, carrying out shadowy position, and reading your brain, and through others they can do it indirectly, but directly it is very dangerous. They will keep on moving. They want to keep those power forever, because they will sideline their competitors in the same departments, in the same uniform, because they don't know those they kill in government departments. I was working in, they kill those people who want to help me out. They can kill those, because they don't have those type of invisible or shadowy power, but only they want to, because it's very difficult, because they just like a chess, they read your brain and they move faster than those who want to help you out through by walking. It's very difficult to collect data through walking. They play the chess with your brain and by reading your brain, and they keep walking. That's why I keep walking. And for a layman like me, I keep walking, shift to one place to another place, one country to another country, not one place to another place. The plight and the suffering you can imagine to only one person. Is it something new? For the 75 years and before, India remained under different colonial powers for 900 years. It's not easy. For 900 years, different colonial powers ruled over India, and how this only. That's why if you go to India is a big country, 36 different states and union territories. Nobody, even if you give it a free of course, want to go into that particular, I would call, dirty people existing there. Their dirty mind, dirty evil nature, most of the people, not all the people. There were few people who were helping out me there as well. They are like godlike persons, at that time. So nobody even knew, no other state, no. If you go back to the northeastern part or go back to the western part or go back to the southern part, western part there are, because they want to keep the media as well with them. So only they want to keep themselves, nobody interested, and see what they are doing with me in southern part. Then if you go over, nobody, even from all over the India, to uneducated people, if you would like to offer them this type of things to come, no, they fear, and they fear, not only fear, they know the stupidity level of India. And there is a book called, if you go with, the Indians are very much there is a argumentative in nature. Why? They are very because they want to carry out stupidity, because they know, because they possess the body, there is a too much disorder prevailing, and they want to put you down, they want to make you intimidated, and they want to carry out bullying, they want to provocate you every time, because they are very expert, That's why there is a thing, touchability. I will tell you in detail in the next video. So that thing is there, that thing is there, They want that. That's why it's not about most of the people, those who are literate, those who are educated. Even if you give them free of course to enter, no, they don't want. They not only fear, they know the level of stupidity is very much dangerous. It's a cancerous. If there is a cancer, three things. If it is in first stage, curable. Second stage, separate that part, organ, or that area, that portion that is affected with cancer, so that it will not go on expanding or go on infecting to other parts, of that area, So small part is affected with cancer, never. So they cut it down. They cut it out from that body. If it is third stage, if you are in third stage of cancer, it is incurable. You are gonna die with time. So that's why this is a cancer prevailing in that particular society. Nobody's worried. Even if you, I work in government department, I don't want to tell, I don't want to be fair, I don't have a, because I'm saying on this YouTube and LinkedIn, do you think that I want to become famous or want to become something like that? I am saying this, I'm trying to get help from you, to sympathy, and that you get to know these people are harming me, they want to kill me. I know nobody in India, even there used to be, chairman, managing directors in my steel plant. They don't want to keep those even in promotion also. They know if they keep those names, they were gonna kill. In that there is too much of stupidity in that particular country or that particular environment, or I don't know where this is prevailing to that large extent. You're gonna die. This is a culture. You're gonna die. There are too much people casting evil eye. That barrier is broken. Why I call all the time barrier and wall. If you newspaper, they want to, on the pretext of creating news, they will destroy, we call man mandir. Your body is a man mandir to the God, or the very existence of soul. They want to demolish it. They want to desecrate it. They know that's why they have created too many paths. Too many paths. Anyone can there, and it has been short-circuited. Short-circuited. I mean, current. They give the current and voltage to magical position by putting in their garbage into my brain and mind. That is short-circuited. You might be hearing the sound how they make it's not about envy, it's not about jealousy in and around the year. It's about the enmity. It's about enmity. It's not about envy, it's not about jealousy, it's not about hate, it's about enmity. They are the enemies. They want to kill me, they want to assassinate me, and there are people who want to take benefit through hate as well. You see that type of restlessness, the type of impatience in them. I am talking to you, still they want to create this type of things. Forget about while sleeping, I mean, what will happen? I have explained everything. I have explained before everything. Too many videos, nothing happened. Torture keeps on going. Why they make? They know. And when you are in flow, give a blow. When I carry out eating, this is a flow eating. They do the nuisance. Because in Uriya, non positivo, vida marivo. In Hindi, जब कोई कमजोर होता है तो उसको जोर से मारिए. मन पढ़ के वो दुश्मन बनता है ना, मन का पढ़ के वो दुश्मन बनता है. When there is a flow, give a blow. When the iron is hot, give a blow. It will break down. That's why they keep on creating many chances and they wait for the opportunity to do that type of accident and killing. So it's not only about envy, jealousy, and hate. It's about enmity as well. They are the biggest enemy, internal enemy. They have created too many. The current always they have made too many short-circuited paths. Nowadays anyone can demolish your the walls of your mind and body, and anyone can come into your thought to desecrate the very temple of mind and body. So it's not about and then they did it with my divorced wife in 2009. And they did it. I know the worst enemies in Katakurisa, the worst enemies in Delhi, Jharkhand, Bokaro. They are there. They are the worst enemies. I told them they are the worst enemies. There are people, those who were helping me out. What will do? They will kill them. A few people have been have already been killed, and now those who want the few in number, because they are in power. They are governing the system right now. That's why they want to do it. They want to put the Damocles sword on my head, so they get again that power through blackmailing. And so they have created that type of understanding. I call them, it's a creative destruction. If you talk me about knowledge is knowledge values time. Knowledge values time. Knowledge. What about the knowledge of gold? What about the knowledge of diamond? What about the knowledge of silver? You tell the price of gold right now in market value is this. The price of diamond right now in market value is this. Right now in market value is this and this and this. Same thing is about silver. That's why I call knowledge. Knowledge values time. And these people, this whole mass public torture they practice, and I am the lonely and the alone person who experience the feeling, the torture, the suffering, the cruelty, the inhuman and degrading treatment I go through, and they take enjoy, they earn money. This is their profession. This is for most of the people, this is the profession because this is very much unorganized. Unorganized. There is no particular law. Everywhere. So I call experience. So knowledge values time, you know. So I go through the experience alone, and they practice. You saw how many practitioners are there? From the how many practitioners are there to earn money, to carry on the torture and trouble, you know. So this is I mean the I mean how long it takes to build the walls of your house, of your home, with the help of, with the knowledge of those bricks, you know. And in no time, you see how one person is knocking here, another this there, and they carry out and they demolish in no time, you know. This is called experience, you know. This is called experience. They have the experience of, you know, they have the experience of demolition. They have the experience of construction of walls through the knowledge of bricks, you know. That's why I call knowledge values time, you know. Knowledge values. I mean, yeah, I mean. That's why I call experience provides meaning, you know. Experience provides meaning. They have the people, those who are in authority, they have experienced this type of things, you know. To a millennial, to a 35 years old, now I become 42 years old, you know. And these people who are in their retirement age, who are elder, who are decision makers, who are intellectual in our country, and they create this type of too many paths, this type of destructive paths for our next generation, for them. I see, you see, this is their experience, and that's why I call experience provides meaning, you know. Knowledge values time, and experience provides meaning. This type of meaning they give me through by creating disorder, by using those hooligans and publics, you know. Their meaning is always in the toilet, you know, in the taboo things, in the private parts, in the private. They create meaning always, you know. I was working by creating the meaning with time. Build a steel plant, you know. One steel plant, if you construct, if you commission, is made for next 50 to 70 years to the next generation. I mean, to the next generation, I mean. And these people, these criminals, these hooligans, they will do it. They know they are the self-destructive in nature. If they don't get the I fled my country, and you see how they are greed. That's why greedy in nature, you know. And this is their wisdom. That's why I call wisdom creates understanding. They have created. That's why I call understanding is the worst, you know. Misunderstanding is the worst type of poison in the world. You know, they're just weapon, you know, for the poor people. And those who are mighty, they know their weapon is there with the, that speaks a volume about them. They will not dare to clash with them, only because they know they are the weakest people. They don't have the courage. They are the coward. Even if you provide them the weapon, they don't know how to operate them. They were inefficient in operating a steel plant, you know, and forget about other things, you know. And this is the wisdom. That's why this is the wisdom, that wisdom creates understanding, you know. Wisdom creates understanding, you know. Experience provides meaning, and knowledge values time, you know. So this is the elderly people, this is the intellectual people of my country, and there are few people from abroad as well. They want to give the millennials, they want to give the next generation of India this type of meaning, you know. Even nobody wants to invest in that particular area, in that particular people, you know. Nobody. There are too many people in all over the world. They are competing, you know. You talk me about slavery. People are competing to become a good slave, you know. Meaning with time. Slave takes meaning with time, you know. Your brain is just like a human computer. It takes meaning with time, you know. If you have this type of thing, you will get employed, or they have the power. Even in slavery, there is a competition. These people see those who don't have value in their country. They don't. No, I'm not talking about slavery in the means of getting employed. or getting or giving or remitting to something to your motherland, they are snatching, from my they don't want to snatch my time value of money, my life value of money. I mean, time value of money, my life value of meaning, time and meaning. That's what I call. I mean, the monetary value, the monetary value. There is an accounting. I mean, you will get to know if you have ever gone through this type of term like time value of money. The money, the interest is compounded with time, Interest is compounded with time. That's why called time value of money. You provide value. Value comes from the meaning. If you provide the right meaning to the value, then the time value of money is decided. Money. I mean, when I call about money, you are wealthy, not about monetary, in monetary terms. By health as well, by mind as well, by thought as well. They want to attack on that precious thing, These Indian people, that's why you called. They want to make me slave. They want to make me slave. Wealth-wise, they snatched away my hard-earned money, time value of money, and they snatched away. Now they are snatching too, right now. The healthy part of my wealth called life. This is time value of life. I call it a time value of life. And they provide the meaning. You see how they provide the meaning to life and to money? They want to make you play with the, it's just like two sides of the same coin, They are so clever. They want to think of, they want to scratch the other part and creative destruction. They want to create the problem, other part where everything is gone, and then to tell you that point of view. They are clever because they are not worthless. They are not even, I call them, their worth is not in demand. That's why we are not interested. They want to, even they want to, they want to damage the time value of money of Indian hardworking people and the time value of life of Indian hardworking people. And these people, they are from India, they are in majority, they are the criminals, hooligans in our authority. Very few people, they want to do all these things. They want to do because they want to keep power forever. They will play with both the things, time value of money. If that is not working out, will play with the time value of life. If that is working out, not working out, okay, self-destructive, let it be destroyed. This is the type of, that's why I call, they want to keep us. Nobody, in India, they want to create, that's how called creative destruction. They want to create the problem, then on the pretext of providing solution, they are clever. We are not interested, give them. They are happy, we are not interested. I'm not interested, I'm not affiliated as well. So, is it justifiable? What wisdom speaks, what wisdom says that, okay, you create in a poor country like India, where disorder, where all those things are prevailing since long time, where there is no law and order, even government, those who are well-wishers, they fear, they don't dare to go to save your life every time. They don't want to do their duty sincerely, in punctuality, with dedication, in this type of those chaos, in this type of those disorderness, people, they make struggle, they keep doing hard work all the time to earn their livelihood, to earn their hard-earned time value of money. And then these laggards, these laggards who just want to reap political and monetary benefit, they will show you the other side of that coin, that's why I call two sides of the same coin, that okay, you see, there is a term also called time value of life, they want to create, they say create, this is not justifiable and this is not acceptable as well. If this goes on, then nobody even know, they're not gonna do something worthful or something beneficial to their own country, to the people of their own country. Neither they do the good to their people, own people, or to the people abroad as well, they are not beneficial to the government and to the ruler as well, they want to do the destroy for both to the government, to the rulers as well, to the they call Swadesh. They are neither good to the Swadeshi people, nor they are beneficial to the people who are in Pradesh, they call no, and for the world it's just like a cancer. If it started in any part of any country in any world, it keeps on spreading. It's a cancer. It's a cancer. That's why I keep the term world, in the world, it keeps on spreading. They are not beneficial to anyone, neither to their own people, to the other people. They keep on propagating that type of culture and tradition to all, every party. So where will you find a safe haven or safe? I'm not interested. I'm not affiliated to any political or any. They want to keep terrorize. They want to keep provocation, bullying, tactics and intimidation all the time. Either you die or if you live till your last breathing, we will keep on reaping the political benefit and mileage out of it. So I fled. You talk directly to them. You get no. They know they are the coward. They don't have the courage. They don't have the guts to directly clash with those people. Forget about that type of, they're the small. Even if you, how do you want to make them use, when these people, they want to destroy monetarily, they want to destroy health-wise. That's why I call time value of money, time value of life, in these two things are the two sides of the same coin, they want to destroy, they want to play with the, it's a never ending, you cannot argument, you cannot justify with them, because they will keep on doing the stupidity through argument, because they will possess your body, again they will. Nowadays it's very difficult to talk with any person abroad as well, in India it was, they are on the verge of killing, on the verge of beating, on the verge of, because they were possessing me and then keep on pressing then bullying blood pressure, I call it a dam in my body, in my vein. Then you are on the verge of anger, or you get enraged very quickly. If blood pressure is increased, then they do the swiping, like they possess the, if I go to buy anything in the shop, in the market, or go then if I ask, okay please I want to buy, then they will do the provocation, intimidate, then if you reply, then they will beat and do the murder attempt or physical harm, something like that. If you stay, if you don't go out, then they will keep on doing nothing inside. So you see the type of, and to what level they can go, to justify to, is it something new? Is it something new, something everywhere this is existing since a long time, how to what level you will go down with those people? No, that's why I fled my country, I know. And you see, Oh, I mean, they still keep on chasing. They still keep troubling me everywhere, and they want to. And everywhere also, this will be become the culture and tradition and the norm, other things, because this is the tradition and generation. If you don't know this type of paths are existing, then it keeps on going. Nobody will go to that. When you put into knowledge, then the culture and the tradition also goes into the darkest period. So I just now, so they will not hesitate, for the sake of power and money. They will not hesitate. Nobody. People are right, left. I'm not interested. Please go on, go on, go on. You with this though, with the few persons whom you call the public, very public. Because it's very difficult, not only about this, do this type of argument, that's why called stupidity. They are very expert. Indians are very stupidity, are very much expert in stupidity, I grew up there, I know the type of intimidation, provocation, bullying. They're very never, nobody, they will not do with other people. I know they are very covered, they don't have the courage. And they use that stupidity. Einstein was the great, Albert Einstein already said about this, fear, stupidity, and greed, So they took away all my money, all my rights, like we got divorced, because they will do. Who from Delhi the transfer came, my wife is working, was there, we were living. They will do it, they will, when I will tell you these things, I will not want to, because that in another video I will tell into those things, the dirtiest things, the dirty things they did with my body, with my wife's body, with me and with my wife, while we were staying together under one roof. You will never imagine the type and that level they will go, and to that extent they will go, to make your life hell and to separate you physically, emotionally, in every aspect. Okay, so this is, it's nothing new, in every country, in every environment, that's why I say a knife, if you use it for the benefit of the humankind, the people use that knife for cutting vegetables, for doing something else, but not in killing human body, they do it. So they use that type of, they create the type of meaning, it's not about, and they have created many paths, and those who are in organized sector, I call it unorganized sectors, it has become a source of income for them, they will do it. Always. Why, people, we stayed away from, this is the type of, people in government, they want to create, they want to destroy the very order existing in that law environment, they want to destroy, because they want, they know, for the sake of, and most of the people in India, they if you talk about the value, they are not valuable. Nobody, even they offer them at free of cost to the world market, nobody gonna employ them, They want to stay in those type of politics in India. You look at the background, criminal background, 40 to 50% of people in India are having criminal background. This is the data I give you, it's not incorrect data. You go through, search. So nobody, no educated people, only those who are educated, they migrate. If they by chance stay in India, they will blackmail, some will kidnap, and some will threaten, some will do the black magic practices on your body and drain your money. And anyhow, so this is a cancerous society existing in India. It's very difficult to protect your mind and body and get yourself educated, and just they migrate, if they by chance migrate, they will float, otherwise they will die, or most of them will get mad, and those hooligans, this bullying nature, people are in huge, in majority are in huge in this type of profession, they will enter, they will do, they will, this is the, they want to justify, this is the right, this has become the right, it's you. So no, I purchased a new flat, they entered into my room, no, forget about it, I mean, they want to play with, I tell you, even they create something through magic, they play with something by inflicting harm through magic, they will carry out, when in my absence, in your absence, in your home, they will do some, carry out magic and do something harm on your things, on your belongings, on your, then you will, when you will return to your place, you will think, okay, who opened my door, who did this to me? There is a then mental ruin of mental peace and calmness, and then you will get hypertension, blood pressure, sugar, then you will shout out, and then will you complain, okay, then they will again, and some other people, they will enter into your room illegally on without your authorization, in your absence, will do the nuisance. You see how they want to create, how they want to play with two things at the same time, and you see how they are clever. Is it something new that I want to prove? Is it something new existing in anywhere in the world? Everywhere this is happening, this or that, there are people use and there are people misuse, there are people propagate information, disinformation and misinformation. You see how they are? I can tell you from my feeling, they want to kill me, and some people, they want to take and reap political mileage till my last breathing, so this is my, I mean, I left my India. What makes sense to keep on doing all those things abroad as well? They want to create this type of culture, and they want to create this type of path to earn money and political benefit and mileage out of other countries and other culture, and set the tradition there as well, so I don't want to, I mean, I am not interested, only few people, they are, that's why in the name of people, if you go back, whatever I have said, they will read your brain, they will show you, these are the things they do with my belongings, and then they will read your brain, they will cast evil eye, and then they will show you the mirror outside as well. When you go outside, they will show you have did this today, you have thought this today, you have then you will see why earlier they were doing, this was jungle, if in a jungle, I told you, if you are traveling, if you in the right path, you will get saved, otherwise you will lose. In a jungle, if you lose the path, or you go through the long path, or you lose yourself, or you lost the path, you lose the path while traveling, you will reach the wrong destination, and then you will, some people die in their journey, that's why I call it a jungle. In India, making a life journey is about traveling in a jungle, this type of things happening, how these people, they created too many paths nowadays for me, too many people. You look at their background, you look at they are 40 to 90% are having criminal background, I am not interested, that the moment I got to know they want to do, I left my India. I not even I asked over telephone to the different people working in the abroad, they are not interested. I told them, are you interested in? No, nobody, because this is the cancer prevailing in society, because those people, they keep on paying, how many, in 25 years old, do you start your career in those positions, then you keep on moving till 65 years, India got independence for 75 years, after 1947, for 75 years old, only two, if you talk about one political group or one family or one bureaucrat, 2-3 persons, 25 years of service in those security on the bureaucratic positions is enough to keep on. So those people, they want to, don't know, that is only pen, the authority power in pen and paper, that rule, that rules the system, that's why I call you. These people, they carry out encounter and they kill her. Nobody is accountable, nobody is responsible, no, they are answerable to none. Are they answerable to the general public? Now they use the general public, And you talk about I even now it is very difficult. I don't want to. I fear, whenever I open any, they want to attack on my thought and imagination, and then they want to create on those missions on my wall. And even it's very difficult to keep open a internet site and keep booking. I fear something, because they want to they are attacking on my very existence. I don't want to. I'm not affiliated to. I don't want to become famous. And you see how they want to, because someone, they know there is something happened. I told you, when something happened in France MBA school, I will go into detail that particular event as well. No pro on that, because that is quite related to as well, touchability. So I will tell you, and nobility as well. And so sometimes, so it is only on, that's I told you, only a few persons, they are in authority, they are in unorganized sectors, those in criminal hooligans and agents, private, I don't know, other government ones. So they do the worst damage, They do. I know why. The working style. For the sake of money, they will do. They will not. They were the imported equipments were getting damaged. I know. I have seen. They can go. They don't care about. Okay, you put on this same thing happening with my body and mind and emotion. All the people know, those who are in power, those who are less powerful, those who are not in power. And you talk about, if you go back to the newspaper, Samaj, the Samaj economy, that Samaj comes from the Samaj. There is in Hindi, there is in Odia as well. Samaj comes from Aaj ka Samanta. What is that? Equality existing right now. Right now. What is the equality existing right now? That is called the society, or that is called the Samaj, So the newspaper in Qatar is called Samaj. I was reading through, I was going through, I know. They show you the other one, They keep on eye on everyone. They keep on chasing and do the other things, They will keep you engrossed on those things, That was existing, the equality. They will in Odia, this is called, enmity. That is called truth. They will say you the truth, when they don't look into their truthfulness, into their life, the truthfulness of their life. They will show you the truth, because, and those people, those who carry out by reading Man ka baat sun ke dusman banna, they will create the reality. They will keep on expanding the reality. Sambhavami yuge, any chance will come in the future so that you will die. So they will keep on that. So they play with the one reality. So two different ones from the, now they get mixed with each other, and they both are stand and straight play with truth and reality. So is about the Samaj, the Samaj says about they didn't do the same thing, they didn't follow the same meaning in true letter and spirit. But I was never reading newspaper. Only in 2000, after 2019 and 20, I just went through about that particular newspaper, Samaj. If you go through the meaning, it says the equality existing right now. It didn't happen, that in place. And if you, that shows you that this should be respected. This is the alert, they alert you. I know they are the pretenders. They are the touts. They are those people. They are the sons, They say something, they do the opposite, In Samaj, they didn't respect that one. They didn't. This is the alert, Respect the right, respect the equality existing right now. That is called society or the Samaj. Right and equality right now. They didn't do. And if you look at the Daily Mirror, this is also English newspaper, Daily Mirror. It says about don't mirror, everyone. Everyone has, if you go back to everyone's life, everyone has its past, present, and have the future as well, The ups and downs of life, everyone goes through this type of roller coaster life with time, If you show them the mirror, through truth and reality, nobody will survive, all will die this type of ruthless death with suffering and pain, So don't show the mirror, And then there is a newspaper called Wall Street Journal, Why I take the names of these newspapers? These are the newspapers from big countries, powerful countries, and from highly civilized societies, where they say, respect the meaning of these terms. You understand the true meaning of those newspapers. In the name of newspapers, don't carry out the damage, don't carry out the torture, don't carry out the cruelty, don't carry out the harm, don't carry out the loss. They said, So they carry out abnormal nuisance. They carry out abnormal nuisance on the side walls of my property through magical possession, harmful magic practices, not magical possession, harmful magical practices, by staying in range as well. They do on my mind and body, So there is a protection, there is a barrier, there is a boundary wall to protect your mind and body. They broke down all those barriers, So this has to be respected because that person grew up with that particular environment. I don't know, and it makes no sense to keep it go through mass public torture or desecrate and demolish. No time, They are alert. Don't break the walls, Don't break the walls. They did it. And another newspaper, Les Echos, Echos means, sound, sound, I'm not worried about abnormal sound, I was working in a steel plant where the sounds of the machines goes above 100 decibels. Most of the times, because the maintenance is very poor, but we used to say, okay, it's below the applicable normal level. We used to comply, okay, it's below 50 to 60 decibel was acceptable, something like that. I don't know exactly because I forgot that I was the lead editor in that time in my plant, So I'm accustomed to that type of normal sound abnormality because they create magical things. If you drop a pin, this is not a pin drop of silence, then it pinches your heart. It provides impulse and impact to your mind and brain and heart and body. You will shiver. They attack on the very nerves of your body and mind, So that's why I call is echoes, They keep on. They alert. Don't do this type of abnormal sound, This is called abnormal sound, So this newspaper tell a story and say the true meaning of that particular news, of that particular news. They tell the true story, true meaning. They provide the true meaning. Like Echoes, this newspaper comes from France, It's in French. Then another newspaper is about People's Daily. People's Daily, yeah, don't is from China. So this People's Daily, what they want to convey, what they want to say. This means to tell a story. Don't confuse. Don't misuse. Don't create disinformation, misinformation through mass public torture. Through mass public suggestion, through mass public justification, those people who are in government, while I was working, when it comes to the use of decision making, only very few people only there in managing director, in chairman, they used to take decision. They were even very difficult to get to the terms on the table, even if you are authorized, even there is a delegation of power, to different hierarchies. It's very difficult, Don't sabotage, that is a system and form that are existing for a long time. Don't sabotage. It's very difficult. It takes time, those who are in elderly, those who are in those who have crossed the 75 years of those who have tested, those who enjoyed the independence of 75 years. Now, what type of independence they give to me, to a millennial, to the next generation? You see, they are not worried about, because they want more power in those, because the money and at the cost of whatever it may be, they don't care, because they are not gonna live to the future. They are not gonna beneficial or valuable to anyone in the future, to any country, abroad or in the country. So they will do, and they will set the example. They will set this type of paths for the future generations as well. So tell you this, that's why they made it generalized, subjective, unjustifiable through many. It's not about public opinion. It's about by the few persons only. So in the name of people, that's why I call People's Daily. In the name of people, they did the worst damage, through mass public torture. Only when you go about nobody, all the public and persons, they are struggling day and day out. They never, in the day-to-day working, they never go and ask about the opinion of any public. They just take the decision, and they keep the system running forever. And when it comes to mass public torture to an educated person like me, they will do. They will go and they will see, and there also there is a case, there is a case, basically case 22 situation, there is a case, there are the few persons, they call themselves government. All the public, they struggle day and night, and they are someone under fear, someone they struggle for one day meal per day, every day. 2 days meal every day. They keep on struggling. Nobody, no general person. I was even take interest in those things. In India, those things, they create a fear. Those, they, even if you give them, even to a general public, if you offer them, they will hesitate. They will even forget about educated. There is so much fear to enter into that particular profession. So that's why these newspapers, there is a hidden meaning existing. The true meaning. Don't make it. Don't sabotage through mass public torture. In the name of news. Then another newspaper, Argumentia Effecti, These newspapers, they convey a meaning, And if you go back to the Indians, they are very much argumentative in nature. Their stupidity through argument is quite prevalent. I grew up there, I know. And they will possess your body if you give them the free hand, if you give them the right to possess your body and in everyone, because I have been to this type of suffering while I was ignorant for the last 25 years. I know, and now they do it, keeping me in my knowledge with intimidation, bullying, provocation through shadowy position, harmful shadowy position. They will not do substantial help. They will not carry out substantial help to your body or mind. They will do substantial abuse through reading your mind and drawing and carrying and possessing, and they will do. That's why I fear to go outside, to talk anybody, to ask anything, to eat anything. They possess. Sometimes you will see, okay, who is talking? Same thing did with my every family member. It's quite difficult to survive with my brother, mother, all. They possessed my body, my mother body, and then there was a class. Even my brother was so loyal and so close to me, so sympathetic, so compassionate, so affectionate to me for the sake of, you see, only a matter of second they will do, because you respect the barriers. When you have a close friend, when your brother and you are too close, when your brother is gonna give a life for the sake of your life, then how they separate, how they make the class between two people when there is a strong bonding only through shadowy position, only just say once or make a misunderstanding between these two people, then everything is gone. Then the distance will keep on increasing. Then that will never. And you see how they killed my brother. There are two people, my mother and my brother, and then when I got to know about all these things, then I told my mother, please go with me. I want to stay with you. I don't want to leave anyone, because they possessed all the bodies and they want to class and they want to show you. They were attacking me. They want to kill me. Please. 6 to 7 months, very hardly. After 19 years of staying with my mother, then I got separated. I never stayed too long after 19 years of my life. Then after 37 years of, when I got 37 years old, after 18 years, near about 18 years, I got to stay with my mother. After this type of harassment, bullying, intimidation, provocation, and harmful magical practices on me through this, that they have made my house, my home in Cuttack, Odisha, as a just like a concentration of shadowy people, through mass public torture. It was very difficult to breathe, eat, do daily activity, move in and around. I left that ancestral house because there I had invested for my family members to a rented house. There they hardly stayed for 6 to 7 months. Then they killed my mother as well, So they will do. Even if you stay by hook or crook, they will do. They will not. So you see to what level, the extent they can go. So because they will argument, they will create an argument through shadowy position, through this type of stupidity, to make yourself enraged, to make yourself hypertensed. At least you didn't clash with each other. At least there will be a hypertension. There will be a blood pressure type of high blood pressure or low blood pressure type of disease, or diabetes through sugar. This type of things, you will get a lifelong disease, So they keep on doing. You forget about it. It's very difficult to search on the internet. It's very difficult to carry out normal life like daily activities, toilet and sleeping, breathing. If you go outside to talk anyone, they possess and so you see, you just keep on imagining. Then you keep. These are the realities, Only that's a call. If you get this type of trouble and torture and harassment through one people, that is enough. One rotten fish can make the whole pond dirty. They will rot all other fishes as well, So this is called, that's why these newspapers from powerful countries, they speak something about, please don't do this type of nuisance and this type of trouble and torture and trauma. This is not justifiable. This is not. It's just like a cancer in the society. It will keep on spreading, and it's very difficult to keep control. And they do. And they are the big countries. They are the highly civilized countries. Why they convey the message to newspapers through this name? In the name of newspaper, I call it. But Indian. There is a book called, you go through Argumentative Indian by Amartya Sen. He is a Nobel Prize winner. You will get to know everything about there. They speak many things. Speaks volume, It's not it speaks volume in those words, So then it's called. This is the it's happened in my Mathrubhumi. I call it Matrubhumi. It happened in my Matrubhumi. It's happened in my Matrubhumi. So the time they use, the time they gave to the millennials, the time they showed the meaning of everything in India, you will get to know the Times of India, the Times of India alerts. No. This is a huge disorder is prevailing there. There is no law and order. It's very difficult to contain with this. The government of India servants, I told you the data. If you would like to ask me about data, I was a government servant. There is a 140 crore, 1.4 billion population in India, and to rule them in bureaucracy, you see how they keep on slamming the doors. You see their impatience. You see their these people, and they look. All the people know I have complained. I don't want to. I know these people. They are in mass. They are in public. They are in group. They will keep on stupidity. And spoken before that. If you either you keep the fear to your weapons. If they don't fear you, then keep this tip. Those they are stupidity. Why they carry a stupidity, because they know they will not be able to clash with the big powers. They will do this type of stupidity to bargain them and to keep them under control, or to make a negotiation. I don't know what type of negotiation. They are destroying the very existence of those next generation as well. So it's not about greed as well, So they want to show this type of stupidity. They will do all because I am not interested into those politics. Go, get them from them. I'm not. I left my country. What else is required? If someone leave that living space and someone left that living space, and in other countries, I don't know whether all of them are from India, because there are from other countries as well. They will keep on doing this thing because it's other countries there are people. All people are, to a lesser extent. I tell lesser extent, not to the type of I would have been dead, the type of they were doing, So the Times of India, tells about the people, about the environment, that the times is very difficult to survive with a meaningful life, because 140 crores, 1.4 billion of population live there, and out of there, if you talk me about the government people working in military, in police, in hospitals, in industries, in other departments, constitute around 10 to 15 lakhs, hardly. 10 to 15 or 20 lakhs. Exact figure I don't know, but I suppose, because 20 to 30 lakhs constitute the government of India, servants, government servants of Indian government. And out of there, those working in police and military with authority and bureaucracy constitute around less than 10 lakhs to 15 lakhs less than. They rule. They call themselves the bureaucrats, They rule all the technocrats, including the technocrats and other people in India. The 1.4 billion and 140 crore peoples are being ruled by those people. 10 lakh people. If because 20 to 30 lakhs are employed in organized and government servant, that are well secured, you will work till 60 years of age, and in private sectors that constitute around, so it goes around 80 lakhs. So I make it 1 crore. So if you divide 1 crore, those are working in organized and unorganized sectors getting regular salary, divide with the other people 140 billion, so it will come around 0.000 something 5 to 56%. How these people even if that some people working in authority have this type of invisible power. You see, who rules? A few. That's I call a very few very few persons, they call them the government of India, they call them the India is a motherland, and they call them everything, Baki they use, because they will go, they have the power vested is them, they will kill you by hook or crook, through shadowy position or through harmful magical practice or through by authority. So this is called, that's a call, if you go through, it's very difficult, that's why it's very difficult when those people, they will never dare to work in those type of, to put themselves into that past public torture, where it's very difficult to contain and to set a new law and order, or to keep that particular existing law and order in that particular environment. See what they made. And they want to create this type of culture everywhere, wherever I go, they do this type of things, and they want to, it's not only they want to sow, they want to set the tradition there as well. Everywhere, power and money works, and it will gradually pick up there, and there is, they want to see to an educated, who has been in my wife's career, if you go back to them, she is divorced, she was an electrical engineer from the same college, and she belonged to the same caste as well, What they made her life so miserable, you see. She was a brilliant student, having a career of 85% throughout the matriculation, intermediate, and engineering. And we are divorced now. And see, in 2009, after our marriage happened, and from Delhi, the divorce order came, and for the separation, to move to different place, to work in different place for my wife, and she moved to my native state. I call it a native because there I took birth and moved to different place in that state to grow. And there what happened to her body in her private part, vitiligo, and then people used to call her, there is something like, she used to cry over telephone that people, you see how these people ruin my health after my daughter's birth, and now they call me, something happened like don't touch, and something like that. It was something like discrimination they want to create, despite taking birth to a good caste, good family, good class, they will make you look dirty and look create a untouchability of time, things, and discrimination through this type of mass public torture or something like that. We in millennials, they used to, if you go back to the telephone recordings, used to call, you see how the people call me in my office, that these things are like something like leprosy disease is like, I said, don't touch, and she used to cry. Okay, we are divorced, that part is over. In 2009, they did worse damage to my wife's private part and other. Now what they did to me? Now in another country also, they use some people to play on my toilet and my private part, my dress and my hair. I know my talent better, I am not that much brilliant throughout my career, but having a first division throughout my career, and then competing with other people in a government department, and then constructing a steel plant in the government of India, Ministry of Steel, and then completing my study from Ganawala Kalda Management. I know my intelligence and I know my talent better, and see how they want to look you down and look you bad. And it's not about look you down, okay, whatever you look me, yeah, you will never able to come at par with my intelligence. I know I challenge you, and I tell you, because I am not, then they want to look me bad, look me down through attacking on my private part, specifically on my genitals, while doing toilet, while using my food. They attack on my windpipes and food pipes, they mix, my food get mixed with the wind. They want to what? Is it about something like silly or easy things, or Is it stupid things? No. They why what do you think? Why they do the stupid things? Huh? Are they so unwise? They are so wise. They are clever, and they are killer. They are the killers. They are the assassinators, and they know at least by hook or crook. Right? They want to take benefit by creating problems from the two sides of the same coin. How can you justify them? How can you to what level you will go with them to prove your viewpoints and perceptions? It makes they know. That's why they want to. So it's about. There is a fine line of difference and demarcation that exists, and if you break down that wall, and that barrier and that boundary, then is okay. If you will not get killed right now, then you will kill with the time. You will get killed with the time you live. There is a saying in Hindi as well, "Jite ji mar jana," so they will do it, where they get most of the people in India, and I told them, I am not interested. Let them do their job. Let them do their manage this type of dirty things over there. And why they create everywhere this type of things, and other countries what type of image they want to make, they want to tarnish. I would say there are people in India, most of their people they don't have any value. They are not employed in India and abroad as well, and those only a very few number of people they to reap and political miners out of by creating problem from the both sides of the same coin. I would say again, they want to create the problem from the both sides of the same coin, because they don't get any employment in India, or they don't have any value in India. Most of the majority of the people, they struggle because it's very difficult to keep a regular to keep the people all employed in a government sector, reimbursing regular salary for long time. It's very difficult. I told you the statistics of the people who are employed is around 1 crore people, but 139 crore people are unemployed. They get their means for daily living. They struggle to get they carry out. They struggle to get their means for their living. And now it has become the public property. In the name of people and public, they do and then see how they carry out blackmailing with the other powerful people, those who are having wealth, and these people, they will do it. They will do the harm to their own people, to the other people as well. I call them. They have become the just like what can I call them? A self-destructive in nature. They just okay. You got it's your profession. It's not their profession. They are ruining the life of the next generation of men. They want to make that these people will not be useful to anyone. If they are not useful to those people who want to take money and power by bargaining with those power, they want to make them defunct and useless, and by reducing their time value of life, and by denigrating their time value of life and time value of money through this type. So you cannot make a justification with those people, and they keep on spreading those things everywhere. There is no limit for them. I mean, these people till they have just like these few people are just like the cancer in the society. They keep on spreading to other people in other space, and okay. Thank you for listening. Thank you very much. Please pass on this message to the other people.